Hi, it's Amanda from Healthy Solutions Group, and today I would like to share with you the basics of creating a tactile stimulation board for individuals with Alzheimer's or dementia or other developmental disabilities as needed. So I have shown you some of these in previous videos. You've probably seen this tactile board before that I had created. And some of the items that I utilize, I just want you to take note of them so you can purchase these types of materials when you see them or go out on a special supply run if you need to. These are glass beads that can be found in many different types of stores, even in a big super store for an inexpensive price. Sea sponges that have a very good texture, different than regular sponges, definitely visually and a little bit more tactilely stimulating than regular sponges. This is actually a rock mesh netted set from a hardware store, and I had to create this by sewing the twine together. This is a coaster and a flooring sample, okay? And obviously I have a backboard, which I will show you in a second, and I used paint on it. All non-toxic, all with a sealer so that it is completely safe for people who use it. Now let me show you a couple more. This was a beach creation. Now this was created by utilizing actually wrapping paper and a mud kind of base here as well, with actual stones that came from the ocean, as well as some glass beads and paint. So this also has, it may be a little bit hard to see in the video, it also has puffy paint that is in different colors, if you can see that, and it's here. So these are all fairly lightweight. I would say this one's a little bit heavier because of the big rocks, but you want these to be lightweight because these are, our goal is to sit directly on the residents' laps. So we don't want anything that's gonna have any problem for their bodies. This is one of my absolute favorite ones. This is the one that I call Fire and Ice, obviously because of the colors, Fire and Ice. I wanted to make it both visually stimulating as well as tactilely stimulating. So you see that some of the same items are used here. We've got our sea sponges, but we're utilizing a lot of sensory input from the visual sense on this one. This is a very rough rope right next to and juxtaposed with a very smooth area of the glass beads. Now this was one of the most popular of the sensory boards when I took this to a nursing facility in an Alzheimer's unit to kind of test it out and make sure that they would like it and that it would be useful and helpful. This particular part was probably the most popular part. These smooth glass beads, I guess, are very soothing on the hands, and the residents really seem to respond not only to that but to the colors, especially in this one. So that's my Fire and Ice board. Okay. So I want to show you a few steps that you can take to get started on creating your own. So the first thing that you'll need is a backdrop. Now these are what I use. By no means do you have to get as crazy as this. This is a pretty big deal as far as having the contour to the body and having a handle to be able to pick it up and transport these. If you are just making this creation for your family member, or say you're an activity leader and you are just creating this for one particular resident in your facility, you might utilize something much smaller. You might even utilize a tray. Think about your different options. Be creative. You could also consider some sort of other small rectangular lap device that they already use, possibly for feeding themselves, or other means that you could glue things to. Now this is a work in progress, so I just kind of wanted to show you this because you would see where things start and where they end up. So after I decide on my medium for the background, I think of a theme, okay? So the theme that I was going for in this particular one, which is in progress, was an outdoor theme. So I was thinking the forest, I was thinking something that was really outdoorsy, and I would have several areas. I would have a wooded area, I would have a greenery area, and I would have an ocean area. Okay, so obviously I'm not done with this, but you get the idea that I'm taking the background and painting it or creating the color scheme based upon my theme. Now you can come up with any theme that you like, but consider the theme when you're considering which resident you are going to give this to. So if the person that you are creating it for loved nature, this would be the type of item that you would want to create for them. If they were all about outer space, hey, guess what? I have something for that. Let me show you. If you had an engineer create something like this, okay? Everything that you see here is actually very tactilely stimulating, as well as visually stimulating, okay? So be creative. Be totally creative based upon what your residents' desires and likes and their life was like. So my next step after I paint it is usually deciding which textures I'm going to put on next. So in this case, I decided to glue all of the glass beads that are right here, as well as the rocks that would go in the wooded area. Probably some of my next steps will be to put some of my wood sticks here, and then I plan to utilize some things like this. And maybe you've never seen them, but they're actually rubber plants, and they're very unique and realistic looking, but they're not going to hurt anybody. And you know, they're very strong. They're not going to come off. If you put a real plant, it wouldn't be a very good idea. So I plan to place some of these around. I have several different types. This is where all of your goodies come in. Now, you could also include some of your shells into some of these areas here and glue them on very well. You got to be careful because you don't want anything to be able to be easily popped off. So I utilize either liquid nails, or I use outdoor adhesive that is very strong, but I make sure it's solely underneath so that none of that toxicity gets out. And I seal the whole thing with a Mod Podge spray. So that is a very good idea if you would like to make one for yourself and you're gluing things to it. Okay, so after that I plan to also put some fake leaves in this area just to give it a little bit extra oomph, and I might even utilize some of the rope here to kind of delineate the different areas. Now you can be really, really creative in this, and you can use what you have around your home or around your facility. This was the first one that I created, and it was, you know, kind of an inspirational moment as far as trying to take my love of creativity and art and to enhance the lives of the residents. So be creative, let your mind draw you. Consider that person that you're making this for, you know, in the process, and let that drive the inspiration. So utilize any items you have around your home. Don't go out and spend a ton of money. These shouldn't be extremely expensive items. And do your very best. So again, please watch the other video about engaging somebody with sensory or tactile stimulation. But briefly, you'll want this item to be something that can easily be set on their lap so that they can feel. And you do want to ask prompting questions about what it looks like, what they feel, how it feels, how it looks, what senses, do you feel that under your fingers? Does that feel smooth? Do you enjoy that? Talk to them while they're engaging, both individually or in a group. Remember, this is a very cognitive activity, so you are trying to get their brain to work, to function at the highest available capacity that they have as people with Alzheimer's or dementia. Okay? And remember, it can be for a group or for an individual. Now, if you have any questions or you need some inspiration, definitely check out healthysolutionsgroup.net for other products and services that we have, and sign up for our newsletter for more fun videos like this. Thank you so much. I'm Amanda from Healthy Solutions.